Hey yo, what's going on, everybody? This is the Straight Up Busters here. 2024, we're still here doing our thing. It's episode 42, and we do have no SD today. He's got yet again some marital issues. What can you do, eh? Don't get married. That's all I can say. And we have the lovely Gem, the lovely Dingle, the lovely myself. But more importantly, we do have a guest today, and he is not British. He's actually from Belgium. It's my good friend Zipnet, who I met through gaming, I don't know what, 6 years ago, maybe 5, or not that long.
Hello, and thanks for having me.
Yep, no worries at all. But yeah, we met through Steam basically. So it's and we met through a game called Left 4 Dead. But we'll do some plugins and we're gonna get cracking because today we're on about gaming. We always get very in depth on these. I'm gonna do the opposite of what the order will be. So we're gonna start off with Gem. Introduce yourself. What are you about?
All right, I'm Gem. I am the host of the Straight Up Warlords. We recorded the February update yesterday. That's actually because the recording is 4 hours long. It's not all going to be one episode. I have my own X account. SD runs the normal one, but he's not here, so he can't tell people that we're live. But then nobody's following him anyway, so it doesn't matter. And that's it.
Dingle, your turn.
Hello, I'm Dingle. I'm in charge of the Facebook group, Straight Up Busters. Load of content over there, fan art, and whatever malarkey. Go over there, check us out over there. Not posted in a while.
Cool. All right,
You're waiting for something else.
As a guest, I'll just be commenting over footage from a Left 4 Dead map I've been working on since about a year.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Okay, all right, cool. We're glad to have you here, Zip. So first we're going to start off with Dingle today. It's all about gaming. We'll get to Left 4 Dead, don't worry. But for now, there's a game called Killer Bean. I'll let Dingle do a brief explanation and we'll play the trailer, which looks great.
Sure. So you got your gaming heroes, your console heroes, such as Kratos, Nathan Drake, Master Chief, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Lara Croft, the list goes on. We'll now meet Killer Bean, the new guide to the franchise of the gaming world. We have a video here we're going to show you, we're going to discuss. It's pretty wild, wacky, and I love wild and wacky, as R-Techz knows. So, yeah. Play ahead, my friend.
All right, here we go. Oh, I just skipped a few seconds. Okay. There you go.
Okay, that I've watched about 5 seconds of this, and this looks awesome.
I know, right?
This guy's got moves.
Yeah.
It's Max Payne if he was a bean.
I said this earlier to myself.
I was thinking the same too.
What the heck?
Bean suplexes, zombie beans from the looks of things.
Yeah, bit of a killer floor vibe there.
A little bit of Terminator in there as well.
Just wow. Just wow. And the pure fact you can go first person as well, that game did it for me. Really did.
Yeah.
Well, that was certainly something, that's for sure.
I said it looked wacky, crazy. There's zombies in it, because I read the thingy. You got zombie mode, you got racing mode, you just got go all out, so I guess it's just everyone against each other. And the pure fact he has dance moves as well. And the guy, it just looks absolutely insane. And that's on my wish list. It's on my wish list on Steam.
Of course it is.
From the looks of it, it's all open world, right?
It does look open world. It
does,
also
yeah.
like it's got like a Just Cause vibe as well, like a bit of craziness. I saw this through another YouTube channel, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" They were playing a load of games, like random games coming out, blah blah blah, and this one just stood out to me. Killer Bean. I'll tell you what, he'll be up there next to Kratos and Nathan Drake and Master Chief. You watch. That round little bean will be up there with the legends. And the bit at the end where he threw the grenade in style as well, I just think is arrogance. I love it already. But I don't know. The game just looks mental.
It does.
The slow motion as well, like Jem said, the Max Payne vibe. There's a lot of things that I think they took from other games, from what I can see.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like GTA when it first started to play.
That's that as well. I said that as well. And the Max Payne thing and the Just Cause thing. It just looks... I think there's going to be so many like things you can do in this game. It does look open world, but I'm not sure if it is. It does look it, but it just looks insane to me. It just looks wacky.
Maybe an open world a la Far Cry, you know? The gunplay reminded me a bit of a Far Cry 3.
Yeah, it does. The fact you can go first person as well, I love that in games when you can do that. Like Fallout 4, Fallout, you know, you do that. And I love it when it gives you that option. But yeah, man, it just looks... It looks like if it's a multiplayer game, a 4-player game, Gem, R-Techz, and SD, you know what we're going to be doing soon? Playing Killer Bean. It just sounds mental.
If it is a 4-player game, I'm definitely joining you guys and playing.
Yes, zombie mode.
The funny thing was, I thought you were saying Killer B when you were telling about this like a week ago. So I was thinking it was going to be a B, and then it comes up with a bean. And I was like, wait.
Yeah. That's what I thought I heard as well. Like just Killer Bees. I was like, okay.
It's another franchise. It's a common paper.
You watch, it'll be up there. It'll be Killer Bean 2 soon. Revenge of the Killer Bean.
Wacky as that Rick and Morty Justin Roiland game. I forgot what it was called. Talking Guns.
I think I know which one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I know which one you're on about.
I think of the name, but it reminds me of that.
VR.
High on Life. That's
I
the
think
No, the other one.
High on Life, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one.
I had I don't know what they were thinking when they... The pure fact you can customize your bean as well. I love that. I love a bit of customization.
And you flick the bean. I don't know.
Well, maybe. Seems to... Maybe. I've not done it yet, but maybe. But what do you guys think of it? I mean, I generally love it. I love that sort of shit in games.
It is wacky, that's for sure. That looks like it'll be a fun game.
It looks like it'll be loads of fun. I think you've sold me on it for sure.
Yeah.
That was a 5 seconds.
You know, it's I don't know. With a title like Killer Bean, you would imagine like a shovelware that you could see on the App Store. But yeah, it seems to have a good production quality behind it.
Definitely does. I mean, I generally saw it and I thought this is mental. When you see Killer Bean, you think of like a PlayStation, like a mobile app game. Killer Bean.
maybe PSP or something.
Yeah, something daft like that. But the pure fact that slow motion, you can jump out of your car and do backflips and fucking, it just looks insane. And not only that, you could do what was it? You could do like wrestling moves on the other beans. So
yeah,
he took him to suplex.
I saw the suplex. Yeah,
Suplex City took him to, and that was I didn't even know that was there. I was like, ooh, that sold me. A bit of Saints Row going on there. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know where the demo's out.
Ooh.
Yeah, but that is on my wish list on Steam at the moment. The full game.
So that's free.
Yeah. I think
generally
so.
speaking, demos are free. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Can't be too careful these days.
I don't know if it doesn't seem like a game that has a story to it. I think it's more of like gangs on gangs. So like other beans on other beans.
Bean on bean action.
Bean on bean action. We love that.
Not a campaign, but more a series of like activities, like you know.
Yeah, objectives and stuff. Like Killing Floor. Objectives, there's no story to it, was it? So I'm looking forward to that. I'm glad I got Gem on board. R-Techz, you do seem to be on board. I can tell by your face. And I think it's something we should think about down the line. I'd be completely up for that. That'd be a right riot.
I want to know what SD would think of it. Shame he's not here.
He'd probably say something sarcastic, then get shouted out by Jess, then go quiet, then say something racist, and then moan about being old.
Meanwhile, I will be reacting with my eyes and face.
But yes, and that was the game I had to show you. I've been dying to show you that trailer for when I said it it's wacky, and I don't know. It just the combat as well. I love that in games. You know, you get the option just to fuck someone up by suplexing them. I love it.
I do reckon it's going to be a single player game. The way it's advertised doesn't look like there's like a multiplayer.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, because it showed you one certain group of beans, and then it showed you another gang of beans. So I don't know if it's going to be, but time will tell. Time will tell.
Saints Row, and now it's just going to be Bean Row.
Bean Row.
It might have a similar sort of multiplayer as like Watch Dogs had, where you can sort of invade another bean's world.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some instances of multiplayer rather than one big server.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. When I saw the zombie beans, when I see zombies like that, herds of them, I automatically think this has got to be a multiplayer game. Because I don't know why. That's always... When I see a herd of zombies in a game, I just think this got to be a multiplayer game. Because no one motherfucker can take them down. Unless you're R-Techz.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the Resident Evil games, at least the first ones, are single player. So,
Killing Floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, the games.
Yeah, the Resident Evil games are single player. But I mean, they have the Mercenaries mode, which
that's right.
can be played in multiplayer. But yeah, they're generally speaking, they're single player.
But I know that video was short, but I was also going to mention as well, there is a Resident Evil Veronica being remastered. And I love that one.
They're remaking Code Veronica.
They're making Code Veronica, yeah.
Jesus.
And I can't wait for that either. I'm hoping they remaster it for the PS5. They should do. But that was another thing I wanted to say. I did have other games that were being remastered, but my pen decided to break. So it was just these two games I had. But Code Veronica was, out of all the Resident Evils, I really enjoyed that one because I love the story to it. Absolutely amazing game. And especially if it's going to be remastered, you know, it'd be the graphics and like they did with the Resident Evil 4 game. I mean, it's brilliant. It's beautiful.
Will this be done by the same guys?
Yes. Capcom. Is that what you mean?
They're the publishers.
Oh.
Yeah, those are the publishers. Will this be done by the same development studios that did the RE4 remake?
I'm not 100% sure. All I knew it was on the gaming news thing I had. Sony. Sorry, I can't wait. Is a remastered Code Veronica, and I thought Code Veronica, that sounds familiar. Then it had the RE, and I thought, Resident Evil.
This is education. Oh.
Yeah. Fuck that. I'm looking forward to that. There is more games being remastered, but my pen decided to die. So there's more games coming out I'm looking forward to. Yeah. And also, whilst we're talking, and my bit short, I'd like to know everyone's opinion on why do you think Xbox are now selling their games to other platforms? I don't know if they're doing it. They're doing it to Gears of War, and the other one. Gears of War. Oh, there's another one as well. No,
No.
I haven't heard Halo yet. I don't know if they'll do that with Halo because Halo's their baby.
Wait, I don't
Halo's
think,
on PC, but I don't know. They've said it to Sony.
from what I've heard, it's not Gears of War, but it is 4 different games.
Yeah, there was another game. I can't think of it now. It's going to bug me.
But
I tried writing it down. But
I mean, there hasn't been a Xbox exclusive for a few years now because it's been Xbox and PC.
yeah, that's right.
That being said, I mean, I'm happy for more people to be able to play the games that I enjoy.
Yeah.
And obviously, the reason why they're doing it is because not enough people have bought the latest Xbox, and so to bring up game sales, they're going to sell the games on other platforms, and that's
Yeah, but it may be counterproductive because if you have less exclusive, you have less reason to get an Xbox.
yeah, exactly.
Amen to that. Fair point.
It's one of those things of either, you know, they're doing it because not enough people own the Xbox, and so they want to make more money, and so they've broadened the horizons. But then all the people that don't own an Xbox probably own a PC, and so they might be buying the games on the PC. So
True. Just true. But yeah, I read the news. I just thought it was a bit wild because I know Xbox and PlayStation aren't best friends, but yet. But that's the thing. I can't see Sony doing that. I can't see Sony ever doing that because we're quite arrogant, and I don't think I'd be happy. Right, this is God's honest truth, pun intended. If Xbox started doing God of War games, I think a part of me would be fucking angry inside. I don't know why. I'd be a massive dick. I'd just be like, fuck this. Like, fuck off. I'd be so pissed. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because I've always been a PlayStation guy and the pure fact I've always loved God of War and it's been like Sony's baby and then Xbox going, yeah, we got that now. Fuck off. It would annoy me.
I think
Yeah,
it's like the age-old console wars that are still somewhat raging on.
yeah,
Not as much as a few years ago, but I think you would feel that way because it would feel like a betrayal.
That's
Like,
right. That's what it fit. Yeah, agreed. Yeah. I would feel a bit betrayed. I would.
Yeah.
You can have Uncharted by all means, but don't touch my God of War. You know what I mean? Crash Bandicoot, crack on. Just don't touch my God of War.
Last of Us.
Crash Bandicoot would be, I don't know, it's one of the OGs, so
Yeah.
it would be more sacrilegious.
That's another good point. I think, have what you want, just don't take Kratos away from my platform. No, it would be like Halo going to PlayStation. A load of Halo fans would be like fucking angry. They'd be like, no, why do they get to play it? And
considering the amount of times that Sony have tried to make a Halo killer,
they have. They didn't do that Haze, didn't they?
Haze.
Haze was one of them. Killzone was one of them. Resistance was one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, Killzone and Resistance. Killzone got like 4 games. Resistance got 3, didn't they?
Yes, I think so. At least Resistance was. It looked at least somewhat competent. Yes. Playable.
Yeah.
Compared to Ace, that was just completely botched at release.
What about that Crisis game? Was that Halo like?
Oh, Crisis.
Remember that? Yeah.
Crisis was released on Xbox and PlayStation. Well, Crisis 2 was.
I would not call Crisis an Halo killer. It did not pretend to.
I mean,
to try and counter Halo. It was just like a demo for the new Crytek engine.
yeah. Well, I would argue that the first Crisis was a PC killer because it was designed to overheat pretty much every PC that wasn't the highest end one.
I remember that going around. Yeah, everyone was finding difficulties with that. Yeah.
There's also going off topic. Well, not really. Did you know? Fact. You know, Kratos has that red tattoo line on his head, the
Yeah.
Spartan. Do you know the PlayStation originally wanted that to be blue for the PlayStation, but they didn't because it was a I don't know. It was just they what I don't know. I mean, mind you, we wouldn't have known any different.
Had it been blue, it would have played more like he was a Celtic character.
Yeah,
in
Scottish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Plus, I don't know, red like blood for
Yeah.
God of War.
It was a Spartan thing, wasn't it? That's why they kept it because it was Greek mythology and all that. But yeah, I just couldn't picture him having a blue line. Mind you, if obviously the first game, if he had the blue, we wouldn't have known any different. We would be sat here now going, could you imagine if Kratos had a red line? That'd be weird.
Yeah.
You know, so we'd have never known. But that was a little fact that PlayStation wanted to do about him. Glad they didn't. But mind you, I'd be saying the exact same thing about the red. So
You know your stuff.
well, the thing is,
He does.
I'd rather red than blue. We did the football topic.
Yeah, we did
You know
do
why?
that. Yeah.
You know, I know I'm wearing blue, but it's not baby blue. So fuck them still.
Toddler blue.
And it doesn't have a weird boat on it when, you know, the place that it's from is landlocked.
That's right. Oh, that was a giggle. But yeah, that was my conversation I wanted to have. I enjoyed your feedback. I'm glad we all like the Killer Bean. It reminds you of that song, the Queen song, Killer Queen. Is he Killer Bean now?
Killer Queen.
Yeah. But yeah,
All right,
man.
cool. Let's move on to old Zip. Well, sorry, not old Zipnet. You're not old at all. I do apologise. Just
Brand
Zipnet.
new. I'm brand new.
So I'm gonna have to share my screeny weenie now, aren't I?
Screeny weenie.
Yeah, I don't know why I
So
said
I
that.
will I comment over the footage?
Yes, you may. So can you see me?
Nope.
You will see this.
I can see some
Gonna
hands
be
going to top right.
On mute anyway, so it's this. It's this. We had to restart.
Oh, so
Oh,
this is
why
the
we
map you've been creating.
So this is the
Yes.
map, yeah.
The
Nice.
first map of the campaign.
Let's go forward a little bit.
Oh, here's another fact. Every time
There
I
you
played
go.
Left 4 Dead with R-Techz, you never guess what he did? He left me behind. I know, shocker, right? He's at the helicopter. I'm still at the start.
I've worked in the
Zip, let's play enough Left 4 Dead games.
for 8 years. And I'm the one that's
I'm not the
behind
most
computer
guy
That's,
there is.
Maybe you should cut the audio so I can comment over it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Ryan was at the helicopter. I was still on the loading screen.
Well, that's plausible.
Right.
But yeah,
so-
Question for Humanity. This is Zipnet's map in a year making, so I'll let you do the talking from now, mate.
Thank you. So, what made me want to make a map is that, well, I've been playing Left 4 Dead since almost its release, and I've used a lot of custom contents. I've played a lot of custom maps, and I wanted to give back to the community. As opposed to just tick. Plus, it was something that would allow me to discover how, how the pudding is made. And this is what inspired me to start making a map. But to make a map, it was pretty difficult because I did not really know how to go about it. And it was, I had to be very, very careful on how I would handle it because, of course, I have my real job to
I love the way you say real
handle
job.
easy. Yeah, it's it does not feel like this mapping business does not feel like a job. That's not what I meant to say, but it still keeps me occupied a lot and needs a lot of concentration to write. So what I did to not lose too much time on it was that first I tried to have an outline of the map that I wanted to make. I did not just jump into tools without any plan. I
Yeah.
tried to first make a drawing of the map, so I would not just lose too much time on the conception of the map itself. But once I had this, I started to train myself on the tools I had to use, notably Hammer, which is not the most friendliest of tools. And from there, well, I started to make the map piece by piece, very slowly. And first, I made like an orange map, so without any details or anything. And
I remember those days.
yeah, it was never supposed to be kept orange at all. It was always supposed to look like what you see on the footage. But
More like a play test version. That's all.
yeah, I needed to be sure that the level design was appropriate, was that it would play well. And starting directly with the decoration and like making a visually pleasing map without knowing that the map would play well, that would make me lose a lot of time and would probably tire me before I finished the map. So this is why I had I used an orange version of the map to play test and be sure that everything was working fine. The thing is, I think on the year I've been working on this map, I've worked half of it on the level design and another half on the decoration alone. That's how much time it took.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dedication. That's what you needed for this project.
Yeah.
The people aren't willing to put the time and the effort in, it's going to be shit. So, it's not crap.
Yeah. What I would have liked to do was to have someone else to work on it with me. But unfortunately, I do not know anyone that likes Left 4 Dead 2 as I do. And that would also be interested in making a map. Plus, it has also it presents its own issue because, of course, you need to coordinate between each other and be on the same page. Because you can easily have artistic conflicts.
Yeah.
One person wants to make the maps go on, try something else compared to the other guy.
Yeah, you have to have agreement there. Yeah. To be fair, it's probably, even though it takes you longer, in the end, it's probably best you did do it on your own. It would have been easier with someone else, but at least you just got your own ideas to compete with, and that's it.
Yeah. I think if you are going to work in a team, you either need to have one person who is fully in charge and.
Yeah, you need a coordinator, that's for certain. You need someone that has the final say, otherwise it goes in all direction and it never finishes.
Yeah, and there was no rush anyway. Do you know what I mean? This game isn't dying out anytime soon. Even now, I don't think so.
Thankfully, it's not like other games.
Amen to that.
What is the game? It's got to be old now, surely.
Yeah, it's like,
no, but the fact that you can do that, you can do something like this, that you can makes the community create a content for you. I think this is what kept this game alive for so long.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Makes sense.
Yeah, you have like now I have more reason to play Left 4 Dead because it's something that I spend a lot of time on, and so I want to make it worth my time.
There's that creativity to it.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a deep love for that game, haven't we, Zip? We've surely put enough bloody hours into it, that's for sure.
Like I said, I have been playing this game since its release. I've even played the first Left 4 Dead when it released, so yeah.
Back when you couldn't have a melee and an infinite shove.
Yeah.
Those are the days.
So yeah, got.
Are you happy with the overall product then, or do you still think it needs tweaking?
It still needs tweaking, but I think it's because I've been working on it since so much time that I had to look into the little details that a Lambda player will miss. So for me, it will always need a little bit of tweaking, but I know that, for example, in the footage, we could see that there were some lighting problem on the door.
Pitch black.
Yes. That you could cheese the event so easily. Because normally it's supposed to be a little bit harder at the end of the map. So I will have to see if what I can do.
Did you have anyone help you at all at any part? Not people playing the map. I mean, did anyone? Did it? Surely somebody must have helped you in some way during the map process.
The only external help that I got, well, it was for the poster at the start of the map. I used a template made by someone else that I could just edit in GIMP. So image editing software. So, but except for that, I used the Wikipedia specific to Hammer mapping that is provided by Valve and updated by the community. But I have never asked a question directly. So yeah, it's more an indirect help rather than really having someone else with me, even for a little task like image editing or and so on. I did not use any custom props in my maps. It's all what is provided by Valve. But if I wanted to have some, I would probably ask someone else to help me with this task, because I've never touched a 3D modeling software. and I think it would be much more difficult than what I had to do when I've just edited a simple image.
Well, you got there in the end. I remember you mentioned it in the group chat, and we were all like, oh, "Hey, that sounds awesome." And then I kept purposely pestering you like every few weeks just to see where you were at.
I've been working on it, as you were able to see.
It's paid off. So, how many hours do you reckon? How many days do you reckon? Did you spend every day? I'm guessing you didn't spend every single day of the year on it. So, did you
No.
have like a schedule you kept to? Oh, I went on it every weekend or something like that.
I had some downtime, but other periods I was working on this map sometimes in the late hours of the evening.
Yeah.
In the night. So I set myself some objectives. So I always knew when I started editing, this is what I want to do. This is the result that I want to achieve. So I could see myself progress rather than improvising. But I did not have any deadline because I'm the only one that set myself any deadline.
Yeah.
So,
But it's good to give yourself those goals so you know which ones to tick off, rather than just going in and doing what you can do. You've actually got a list to go off and easy to keep on schedule that way, isn't it?
yeah, and as I said, this is how I saw myself progress, and this prevented me to lose my motivation.
Mm. Well, it's all about routine in the day, isn't it? But
Yeah.
on behalf of the Left Dead community, we thank you for providing your map services.
Welcome. We are welcome. And
it's mostly positive reviews on there, apart from one douchebag.
yeah. Oh well, I cannot control what other people say. If negative feedback is still feedback. Okay, this guy just said, sorry, it sucks. It does not help me to make it better.
Yeah.
But feedback like, okay, this part I could cheese the horde. They could not come to me. Or at this part, my game was lagging a lot. This is good feedback.
Yeah, it's constructive.
Yeah. You need to be told what the issues are rather than just being told, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or just endless praises. This does not help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, saying something's good or something's bad does not help at all.
Yeah. So
you can't go into detail why something's good or bad, then do you really mean it? That'd be the question.
yeah.
Well, they don't want you to improve that much if they're not willing to give you more information. So
yeah, it's something that we have to communicate. So if my last word for this bit is that if I had a single advice to give to people that would like to do the same thing as I did, is that you have to plan according to your capabilities. So you do not lose your motivation by trying to do something that you are not yet ready to do. Because now, if I had to make a second map, I would certainly do things differently because I accumulated some experience that I can reuse, and this experience will make me able to do bigger and better things. and to try to be more daring in my future project. But this is not something that you can do directly as you begin.
It's about experience, isn't it? If you don't get your feet wet, dip your feet in the water, then you're never going to know.
Yeah, but you do not jump immediately in the ocean if you cannot swim.
Yeah, you don't go head first, as we would say here.
Yeah.
Especially me, I'll cause a bloody tidal wave if I did it head first.
You're not that fat.
His head is.
That wasn't what.
So I'm really bluntly honest. Brutally honest.
That's what, yeah.
Whenever we need to find R-Techz, we need to use Google Satellite View.
Yeah. It's like the Snapchat thing. You see where they're located.
And there's no body, it's just a
head.
it's a dome. An empty dome.
Tell you what, his neck can hold some.
Powerful neck. You know what you say about big necks? Big heads. So I know you guys haven't played Left 4 Dead in, I'm presuming, a long time. But just get like a quick few words from each of you, and then we'll move on to the next one.
It looked good to me. I mean, again, I've been out of Left 4 Dead for a good few years. I did have like the one question. I might be wrong about this, but is there any reason why you chose to have the Left 4 Dead 1 characters as the player characters rather than the Left 4 Dead 2 characters?
I think that for me they fitted more with the mood that I wanted to set with my map compared to the Left 4 Dead 2 characters.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, the town that composed the first map, it looked more like a No Mercy than a parish, for example.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I've played Left 4 Dead on my own, technically.
It's not made for this, but
yeah.
The bots of them is fun.
But yeah, I mean, like, creating creativity and all that, I love that. I mean, I generally couldn't. It's all about having the patience and time in it to create something like that and to know what you want, and I think it's good. And like R-Techz said, you got to start somewhere, and you never know. You keep at it, you just get better and better as you go along. And the map for your first map, that looked impressive. I will not lie, very well done.
Yeah,
and actually, it looked great. It generally looked great, and I would give yourself criticism for that because it was brilliant, and I couldn't do anything like that. So fair play to you. It was good.
You could. It just you have to take the time for it.
We've just had a message on the stream chat as well.
And you have to have the passion for it as well, don't you?
Yeah.
A commenter has just said patience and time is one thing, but scope and focus are huge parts as well.
True. Very true.
Who said that?
Arch_Pendragon. First time chat, so.
Sweet. Subscribe, follow.
Yeah.
Do all that. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. I had no genuine credit, just like very well done.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Yeah, so the work on this map is still ongoing. The version that I released on the Steam Workshop will certainly not be the last one, because I know there are some spots that I want to improve on.
Nice.
You say it won't be the last map you'll do?
No, the last version of this map.
Well, the last question to you then before we move on is, do you think you would make another one, or are you happy with the one map to move on and never look back and just carry on as you were? Or have you got that feeling in your gut that just wants you to just one more map?
For Left 4 Dead, maybe this will be the only one because I have another game that I like to play a lot. Team Fortress
Team
2.
Fortress 2?
Yeah, which uses the same tools to create its map. So I don't know. I think I would be able to take the skills I accumulated with this map and transpose them to Team Fortress 2. But I'd like to see if there are any people that are asking other guys to come and help with their map rather than me working on the map alone.
Well, what would be the best way to people to contact you?
Well, I'm mostly present on Steam. I've subscribed to a Steam group for specific to Team Fortress 2 maps. So yes, this is where I'm looking mostly.
Or like the forums and that.
Yeah. Maybe if I have to, I will look at Reddit.
If you have to.
Yeah.
Or Tumblr.
I doubt I will find any interesting offer there.
I'm surprised it's still going, quite frankly. But
you'll find many interesting offers on there, but nothing that's probably acceptable to you.
No.
Right, okay, thank you Zipnet for that. I'm sure I'll play the map. We need to play it on Versus and make sure it works on there. That we've done the campaign.
Yeah.
But we'll move on to the next person. It's GEM. Anything? Do you want me to just play it and then you can talk whilst it goes along? Or?
Yeah, probably best to mute it as well.
I will mute it and I will play it.
Yeah, so this is...
put it on quietly.
Yeah, we put it on quietly, yeah. This is Terminator Dark Fate Defiance, which is a real-time strategy game set in the Terminator universe in the Dark Defiance timeline, because Terminator is weird with timelines and that. This is just gameplay of the skirmish mode where I decided to play as the Terminators trying to destroy the humans of the former US Army. And you can see here some of the stuff that's going on, like I'm picking, weapons and that to take with me into combat. Basically, in my opinion, it's a lot of fun. Get access to tanks, artillery, shit like that. Although I couldn't find any artillery on this map. I think because it's supposed to be set underground on this map, you don't get artillery because you just be shooting the ceiling. But yeah, the game is a lot of fun. I've been playing the campaign as well. It's a lot of fun. It's also really difficult. I mean, this part of the gameplay, I built up a big force of tanks and vehicles, and I'm gonna, march it through the base now. But even then, because I'm playing as the Terminators, it's a bit easier because they've got better weapons and everything than that. But even then, you can see it's 20 minutes. It took me about 20 minutes just to take this bit with the better weapons and everything. And this is on the easiest difficulty as well.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So the gameplay is asymmetrical. By that I mean the Terminators and the humans have different units.
Yeah.
Not just cosmetic.
Different units. Sometimes they've got something that's somewhat similar. Like, the humans have their own tank. The two tanks are somewhat comparable, although the Terminator tank is just a bit more, tanky.
Yeah.
But then you get things like with the Terminators, you've got all of these drones, like the scout drones and the suicide bomb drones. You've got the war dogs and stuff like that for their infantry, whereas the humans have different infantry groups, and also the humans have their vehicles have to be manned by infantry squads, usually drivers or pilots or tank crews, but sometimes you can get like, you know, squads like rangers who can control a vehicle instead and stuff like that, so you can capture other vehicles as well.
Right. Is there any base building in this game?
No. So rather than having base building in the skirmish mode, you just get given a force and then you just choose what comes in with you through the reserves menus. You've seen it come up a few times on the screen. And in the main game, rather than that, you have, well, I say main game, in the campaign, you have a world map that you go through, and you can go to different locations that are bases for different factions and that, and you can hire stuff from them, like infantry squads, vehicles and stuff like that. You get upgrades for your vehicles and that through there. So like you can start getting Abrams tank quite early on, and then like later on replace its turret with a plasma turret or a minigun or something like that. Same with like a lot of the other vehicles and that. Or your infantry squads can be given better assault rifles or better rocket launchers or better sniper rifles. They do have a lot of stuff that cannot be upgraded, but I think the main reason for that is that those things aren't in the multiplayer either. Like there's 5 factions in the campaign, being the Founders, which are the former US military, who are the people I'm fighting at the moment, Legion, who are the Terminators, who I'm playing as at the moment, the Movement, who are another playable faction in the multiplayer, and then you've got the Cartel and the Integrators. The Cartel are the Colombian, well, South American, Central American drug cartels, as you can tell by the name.
It's a bit weird. I
Yeah.
thought that would just be robots versus humans. Right?
In the campaign, there's a lot of human versus human combat in it. Mostly because like the cartel are for some reason allied with the robots. Don't ask me why. It never gets explained why they're working together. They just are.
Robots have all the drugs.
Yeah.
That's why. They don't consume any, but they have all of them.
Terminator's doing lines of cocaine.
Good for business. It's a good deal, though. I mean, you're protecting your drugs, robots.
Yeah.
I'll have that.
No, exactly. And then the Integrators are humans who are, well, trying to integrate the robot technology into themselves, and they like use. Yeah, they use the stuff, but like I said, the Cartel and the Integrators are not playable in the multiplayer, and it's very difficult to actually get their stuff into your army in the campaign. Well, I say that. There's a bunch of missions sort of in the middle where you've got Cartel stuff that you can steal quite easily. But then you don't get access to the Integrator tanks and transports and that until literally the mission before the last one. As I completed the last one today. And the mission before it today, actually. And that one is also entirely optional. You don't have to do it.
see.
So I literally had 1.5 missions with integrator tanks and that in my army. So it is an enjoyable game if you're really into like real-time strategy, but it is also rock hard. Like I said, like this is on the easiest difficulty and I'm having to build up a massive force of vehicles just to get through to this point.
I mean, it looks mental for easy.
Yeah. And it's also how it's balanced for the campaign is, in my opinion, nuts. Because you've got things like in the campaign you have a persistent army that you build up over time, and obviously your troops can get upgrades, and that you can buy upgrades for the vehicles and that. So you really care about your troops and your vehicles. But it's really easy because you're playing like the human factions. It's really, really easy for their vehicles and troops to be killed, even on the easiest difficulty. Like, yeah, if you did show some of the earlier stages of it, like my troops and that were just walking into missiles and just being absolutely slaughtered, and there wasn't really anything I could do about it because there was no way to give them any cover in the first bit. Like here, at least, like, you know, I'm starting to have stuff that can handle being hit with like 5 different missiles.
Yeah.
But still, your resources are not unlimited, so
Yeah.
each slot you really feel it.
Yeah, exactly.
Limp Wimbler or name. Seen that in the corner. Oh. Oh.
Like for example, here this tank, it must have felt pretty bad losing it.
Yeah, that was a bit painful.
Just so to be sure I understood correctly. So, for example, here losing this tank means that you lost it for the campaign, or is it like rebuilt between each mission?
So when you are playing the campaign, if you had a tank and it gets destroyed, you lose it for the entire campaign. Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
I mean, again, like there are certain points where you can, you know, purchase new vehicles and that. But, you know, if you lose the tank and the crew, you still need to then purchase the crew as well. And it can be very difficult to get your hands on the resources to, you know, purchase these vehicles and crew and that.
Right. And the upgrades are placed on each vehicle. It's like if you upgrade a tank, only this tank is upgraded and not all of the tanks.
Oh yeah, it's literally you're putting it onto each individual vehicle.
Oh wow.
So a lot of micromanagement.
Yeah. If you look at my final force in the campaign, I had, I think it ended up having 5 Abrams tanks in it, and only one of them had like all the upgrades you could get. Like all the rest of them were in very different stages of being upgraded. I think there was one that was completely unupgraded and had a tank crew that hadn't had any experience either. So it
Almost cannon fodder.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it does hurt a lot when you do lose a unit in the main campaign. Yeah, this mission that I'm showing now is one from the main campaign. I'm playing it from the opposite end of it, where you're you would normally be playing as the founders in this mission, defending against the robots until the very end when you pull everyone out. And yeah, in this instance, the founders actually do succeed in surviving long enough, because we get to the end of it and I lose because I don't I don't get to the objective in time.
Would you say the Terminators are OP, or do you reckon they balanced it all well?
I mean, playing as the Terminators against an AI force of humans, the Terminators do seem to be overall slightly more powerful than the humans. But, you know, if you're like me and you're just, you know, not particularly good at real-time strategy games in general, you can quite easily be, you know, well, defeated quite quickly. Like I said, the first 20 minutes was me just trying to take that first point, and you know,
Nice.
it was a tough time.
Yeah.
To answer the question that's been raised in the chat, no, you cannot select Arnold Schwarzenegger as a unit.
Dwayne Johnson, though.
Hooray! What about the what about O'Connor?
You mean John Connor?
Yeah.
Well, in this timeline, he's dead. He was murdered as a
right.
child by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So that means Sarah's dead then as well.
No, surprisingly enough, Sarah Connor also manages to survive when John Connor gets murdered.
So, are there any hero units? No, well, maybe not Sean Connor, but like Arnold Schwarzenegger that you can recruit, and is more beefy than any other Terminator, or are they just like standard normal troops?
So in the skirmish mode where you get to play as the robots, you don't really get any sort of special units. In the campaign, there are a few missions where you get to play the player character being the lieutenant of the founders that you're supposed to be in control of. He has his own squad, and then his sergeant Mason has his own squad. I think there's 3 or 4 missions where you get to have those two as units on the field. One of which you can get them fully kitted out with like plasma weapons and that. And they are pretty good, but they're also still, being regular humans, really easy to kill.
Right, and if you lose them, is it game over?
Yeah,
or...
instant game over. Yeah, if you lose either of them in those missions, and one of those missions has bits where it's very much RNG whether you win or not, because it does it in the cutscene.
Is the multiplayer live?
It is live. Yeah, I haven't played the multiplayer yet, so I can't say for certain whether it's any good for multiplayer, but there's currently 5 maps you can play. This one you can only play as Founders and Legion in, but the other ones you can play as Founders, Legion, and the Movement in them. And in all 3 cases you can do mirror matches or players whichever faction against whichever faction you want. So you can do Founders versus Movement, or Founders versus Legion, or Movement versus Legion, or in fact you can have Legion versus Legion for if you really want to play that.
But 5 maps doesn't seem that much, though. The maps seem quite small too.
Yeah, I mean, it's been out for
I was going to say
about a week now.
Yeah, I was going to say it's literally just come out. There will be updates, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I believe there will be updates and content drops.
Look at that guy crawling away.
Yeah, it's. I've enjoyed it playing it, and I'll probably play some more of it if I can get some people online. I do want to try out the Legion a bit more because, let's be honest, we all know that the robots are the more fun faction in this.
Oh yeah. In any game, I swear the humans are always the least fun.
But
Yeah, most of the time it's just a standard race.
yeah,
So this is what makes them less interesting.
yeah.
We're boring. Let's face facts.
Yeah, humans are boring.
Yeah, and maybe more on the technical side. Are the specs, the PC specs, reasonable? Did you have any, slowdown or thing like that?
The game does crash a lot, I will say. I've stopped playing a few times because the game has crashed on me when it's loading into campaign missions. There's clearly some memory leak involved in it, which is making it so that the game will just crash on you whilst you're trying to play the missions, and when it crashes on you on the map screen, you literally then have to redo everything from the end of the last mission if you haven't saved between then. And
Well, pain in the arse, that is.
yeah,
Frustrating, very frustrating.
it is frustrating. Luckily, the stuff on the map screen doesn't take that long if you have an idea of what you want to have laid out in your plan.
So save often.
Yeah, so yeah, save often really. Like it does also. We have to take into account that I was deliberately trying to get the largest army I could possibly make. Because it was a bit of a
Yeah, maybe not a great idea on a time mission.
yeah. You trying to build up a massive army in this game is both not very good idea in the campaign anyway, because you then have to get loads and loads and loads of supplies because you're physically moving around the world and using up supplies to do that. But also it just becomes really expensive. But also then there's certain missions where you can't even bring your entire army into the mission, even when it goes, we can bring everyone out. It's like, yeah, but there's still like guys back there.
We don't need
We capture a limit.
There's nobody.
We don't need those 20 vans filled with guerrilla squads and militia. We've got all our founders here. That's fine. Don't worry.
So is there any boss enemies? Any boss fights, so to speak?
In the campaign, yeah, there is actually two. You get these two massive Terminators. It is the same fight twice. One's easier than the other because the other one is supposedly like fresh off the like workshop floor, whilst the other one
Assembly chain.
has been out for a while and has been in several combats before that.
Bit worn down.
Yeah.
SD is all it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Has anyone got any questions they want to ask Jen? Do we want to just go around and see what we think? What do you reckon of it, Zip?
It's a good first.
Here you go.
I think I've asked all of my questions. So I think I'll leave you and the chat to
Alright, chat. Go on. Go on, Dingle.
Oh, me. Sorry, I'm allowed to. Yeah, I mean, that was on easy, and that looked crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy. What is the difficulty? Does it just go easy, medium, hard? Or is it like mental, you're crazy? Because then, like, God of War, there is like God on Earth
Yeah.
and all that. Going back to that again. But yeah.
There's story mode, which is the easiest. Regular, hard, and then realistic. Story mode, you're taking 20% of the damage, and the enemies have less units. And realistic, you're taking the full damage that you should be taking, and they have more units.
Yeah, just a real-time strategy game. I've never actually ever played a game like that, like strategy like that. Turn-based, isn't it? Is it turn-based?
It's real time.
Real time. I've never. I mean, to me, obviously, you know me, guys.
Yeah.
There's too much going on for my brain to manage there.
Yeah.
You know, I get confused when a girl lays in my bed. I go, ooh, what do I do next? You know what I mean? It's a good thing I got R-Techz next to me. You take over. Yeah, man. It's I've never played them. But I see but I think the more you get into a game like with any game really, the more you play it, the more you're focused on it. Like, right, I need to do this.
Yeah.
Like I said, dedication. I'm gonna take these motherfuckers out, and I'm gonna die trying. But yeah, I've never played a game like that. I've seen a lot of them. I don't know if you've ever seen Raid Shadow Legend. I don't know if anybody's come across that game.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah.
But I've never played. Maybe down the line, probably will. But yeah, I mean, you enjoy it. I mean, it's been out a week now.
Almost, yeah.
Almost a week, so there'll be more maps to come. I'd like to see gameplay of you doing it on realistic. I'd like to see, because that looked like mayhem.
The 40 minutes of that video would have just been me trying to get the first objective. I would not have completed the first objective on realistic. I'm sorry, that just wouldn't happen.
And you haven't near enough experience to even deal with that, have you? So
yeah. I've been watching Let's Plays of this with people playing it on realistic.
And it's still that bad.
They have to plan things out so far in advance, and they have to pause it like every 5 seconds just to plan out everything else. It's ridiculous, and I'm surprised that the person I've been watching has managed to get so far with as few losses as he's had.
Well, I think
he's probably someone who's involved with development. He's probably the cousin of the publisher.
He must have had losses, but in other campaigns.
Yeah, maybe.
Do a lot of editing, cutting out.
Yeah. I will admit, my campaign that I've been playing through, I have been playing with cheats. That's why. That's why I've been able to get to the last mission with.
We don't cheat. That's one of our rules. Ignore him. He's joking around, aren't you?
Yeah. That's how I managed to get to the final campaign mission with a massive army. If I was playing it without the cheats, I would definitely have lost a lot more stuff before then.
Wow.
So yeah, that's pretty much what I say, really. So I had to pretty much say. I mean, I've never played a game like that. I'm sure I will down the line at some point in my life. Yeah, that was pretty wild for easy. That was like crazy. I mean, yeah, fucking hell. You got so much going on at one point.
I didn't have the cheats on for that footage, just so you know. So hence, you know, why I lost at the end. I wouldn't have lost if I was cheating.
Bad, you still lose with cheats.
Digging your own grave here. Yeah, but yeah, interesting stuff.
I thought it looked quite cool actually. I forgot what game you said you were talking about, so I just presumed it was Warhammer. Quite frankly, when I saw Terminated, I was like, it's actually not that.
When Kat and I were watching YouTube the other night, we were looking through the different things on the YouTube app on the TV, and
Yeah.
it came up with the Warhammer related stuff, and then the
Of course it did.
video for this game came up. I was like, that's not Warhammer though.
Close enough, I guess.
Warhammer is a
Oh.
game of such type of game. You know, I do not know if you know the series Dawn of War.
I'm currently doing a playthrough of that on my YouTube channel.
Why did you bring that up, Zeb?
Damn it!
Yeah, Dawn of War is a great series. The first one with the base building, the second one with just using the units.
G units.
G units, yeah.
But yeah, enough about Dusk of Peace. Yeah, I
Alright.
used to play more RTSs when I was younger. I used to play Star Wars Battleground clone campaigns. That was like use the same engine as the Age of Empire.
Yeah.
I played the second one of that.
Me too.
And that
And the third
one
one.
that I showed you, the one that we did on that podcast, what was it? Silica.
Oh, Silica.
That
yeah.
was half an RTS,
That-
half a
Yeah,
shooter.
half RTS, half first-person shooter.
half arse more like.
Yeah.
You know, we'll be playing that game again. What a waste of money, in my opinion. Well, maybe I might get back to that. Who knows? It's been a while. I might
You might have
revisit.
updated it and all that, yeah.
I was going to say I paid for it. So.
It's
Would
been
be a
about
shame if it was not good because I don't know FPS RTS. Is
Yeah, not in my
like a good
opinion.
mix.
Yeah, it was a mix of FPS and RTS, and technically third-person shooter too, because you played as the aliens. There was some cool ideas there, but it was just very barren. It seemed unfinished. I think it was early access anyway, but it showed.
Early days.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Battlefield had
Right.
tried to do that with the Commander mode multiplayer thing, where you had both sides had a player be a commander who's giving out orders and was able to use special upgrades that they get from the players on the ground taking objectives.
Well, that sounds interesting. What did that fail?
I mean, Battlefield didn't fail, so but you know, it was, last time I saw it was in Battlefield 4, but I haven't played either of the
Yeah,
games.
I just
since
mean like the mode. Was the mode? Did it flop? That's what I mean.
there were lots of people playing it when I was playing Battlefield 4.
Maybe not the commander role.
There were a couple of times where we didn't have anyone in the commander role, yeah, but it seemed popular, and a lot of people were excited when it came back in 4, because it was a thing in 2142, I think, and then it
We haven't
wasn't.
reached that yet. We're way off.
Yeah, it was Battlefield 2142 had this commander mode in it, and then it didn't come back until Battlefield 4, and I don't know if it's back in yet with 2042, the latest one, but
I've not heard of it. I know that in Battlefield 5, it was not exactly a commander role. It was not someone that could see the entire battlefield, but I know that squad leaders had some abilities like calling for supplies or an airstrike. It seems similar to what the commander was doing in the previous entries.
yeah. Yeah, I literally just googled it, and it appears that commander mode isn't in the latest one, so obviously it wasn't as popular as they thought it would be when it came
There you
back.
are. I rest my case. But yeah, so I haven't had many times with RTSs, but the times I had, haven't really enjoyed it. One thing I did enjoy in the Star Wars one was making my own maps, so to speak, and then doing my own campaigns and units and buildings and terrain, and wildlife and all that stuff. So I had a bit of experience with that. I did quite a few of them actually. I was on a roll, and then I just stopped and played other games. But I was like a teenager back then, so we're going back.
Oh yeah. As for
I won't
me,
say how long.
it was for in Age of Empire 3 that I had the most fun, but I was not playing very well. I was there more to build my base than really fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like me then. I spent too much time building my base that I would get attacked, and then I would get pretty much killed, or I'd have to relocate and start again. I'd be like, "Oh, stop attacking me!"
So what you're saying is we got 3 people who have played RTSs and would always play the turtle. Building.
Is that a?
That's the term. That's the term for it, for when you focus on building your base rather than building an army and attacking straight away. Yeah, turtle and rush.
Yeah,
We'd have to have 3-on-1 then, if we stood any chance.
I remember that in some games we had a homemade rule that in the first 30 minutes we could not attack each other. So, yeah.
That's an interesting rule.
Yeah, it was like something we agreed between players. It was not really like how the game functioned.
Yeah, I was going to say it wasn't a function, but I kind of sort of like that rule though. Because even if you're not quick enough to build your base and someone else has gone on the offensive, they'll still, if you're not good enough anyway, then you're still going to die, aren't you? Will they give you an hour or they give you 5 minutes?
Trust to be given in that as well.
Yeah, you attacked me at 29:47. Shit.
No, I'll be on attack for 30 seconds. Mate.
It's called fair
It's
play,
last
you know.
turn. Bomb.
It's called fair play.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Gem doesn't a little bit.
You gotta set the ground rules. You gotta make sure that people agree to it, because otherwise, so someone attacks one of the other players 30 seconds in, the other 2 are just gonna be like, well, their base is unprotected now. Yoink.
Yep. Just gang up on them.
Yeah.
Should we go to mine then? For something else to add?
Go on then.
We can talk about this for as long as however, but mine's only 5 minutes long. I plucked out. This is about an hour's worth of footage, but I just plucked out this because I wanted to show the more interesting parts. Because there is a lot of parts that you're kind of sort of just walking around collecting the scrap. But what I will do actually, whilst I'm thinking of it, fuck it, I'll do this as well. This is something I thought of. So if we go to share screen, I'm gonna. No, not share screen. Sorry, go on the activity. The YouTube.
Put it up now. Yep, join the activity.
So I think Zipnet's played this game. This game's called Lethal Company. He's played with me probably about 20 times now overall. Around that?
Maybe less. I don't think I have the skills that would show that I've played more than 20 times. But
I mean, you don't have that, but let's not be too harsh. That's my job.
We've got an eye out. Till you find one, found clue. Contact your GP practice.
Contact your GP practice. That isn't the game. So this is a fan-made one because the graphics are nothing like this. I think you've seen. Have you seen this Zip, the cinematic trailer that a fan made?
Nope, I have not.
Have you not? Fresh eyes. Well, watch this then, and I'll show you what I've got, and then we'll chat about it. So this is someone who's a fan who just made this. This isn't official or anything, but it's in a lot better graphics, and it's meant to look realistic. But I think this is fucking wicked. I mean, especially if you've played. There we go. If you played the game, obviously I've got a lot more context than 2 of you. But yeah, this is pretty cool. It's almost like an opening to a film. There we go.
totally different sequence of living things following its own fashion of evolution.
Oh yeah. Yep, that's the trailer someone made. Did that look cool, or did that look cool?
That looks superb. That's very well made.
That looks
yeah.
that looks better than any footage of the actual game I've seen.
Oh yeah, 100%. Graphic is tenfold on that.
Yeah.
But I'm in love with this game anyway. So when I saw that, I was in. Might as well have been in tears, like obviously tears of joy. But I was just absolutely loving every second of that. It's fucking.
I
That's
think
pure.
you would have said to me that it was the trailer for a new series on a streaming platform. I would have said, oh okay, when does this release?
Yeah. Well, I think he's actually the guy's released another video like that, but I think he's actually planning on doing like a series with it.
A real series, an actual series.
Yeah, to my knowledge, but he's putting out sort of tester
Like, would
videos,
it be,
actions and thoughts when he wants to continue or not.
and is it in association with the developer of the game?
What's the developer's name? Zerkers or something, or Zekas. I don't believe so. There was no mention of him from what I've read. So I think it's like a independent own thing. But the creator of the game is a furry. So if anyone has a thing against them, you might not want to play it. SD will love it. I've still got evidence saying SD's a furry, so
half of the Warhammer community then, apparently.
Well, what I can say about the Fury community is that they are very driven. Not always for the right thing, but if they start doing something, they will do it very well.
So just to go over like the main premise of the game, and then I'll play this because there's a few things I want to say whilst it's playing. The main premise is Zipnet can jump in if he wants to say anything about it, because he's played enough to know the main parts of it. You start off as a crew of 4, 3, 2, or 1, but I've tried it on my own. It's nowhere near as fun. Full team is better, and you go in and you go to, I think there's 7 types of moons, maybe 6, so 7, and they're all different. There's only 2 main interiors, but it's all procedurally generated. So the layout's always different every time you go in, and there's a facility and there's a mansion. So you go in, you have 3 days to hit the quota, and the quota goes up every time the 3 days are up. And on the last day, you have to go to where you'll see on my footage, and you saw on that cinematic trailer, or the fan one. I got to keep saying fan one, it's not official. You got to give your scrap into what they call the company, which is this monster called Jeb. So I found quite funny, the monster called Jeb. But yeah. And if you press the bell too hard and too fast, he swallows you up and takes you in there instead. So I wouldn't advise any new players of Lethal Company to start doing that. And obviously there's lots of dangers on the way. You can get... there's eyeless dogs who are deaf, so you have to be extremely quiet on them, and sometimes they make for some hilarious moments. I had a mod where you can push people, so we were on top of the ship trying to be quiet, and I pushed him into the dog and he just went off.
The blind dog, not deaf.
Yeah, the eyeless dog. This game can be scary, but it can be funny, and the two, they balance. Lethal Company, in my view, balances out the two very well. Yeah.
What I'd like to add is that it's a very social game. It relies a lot on communications between player, because it uses systems that make it so you only hear people that are close to you or that are talking to you through a talkie-walkie.
Proximity chat.
Yeah.
So it's something it means that you have to keep constant contact with your with the other players, and that you have to relay information as effectively as possible to coordinate your efforts to get as much salvage as possible.
And you usually have one person on the ship if you've got enough quota to hit, who would stay on the ship, and they would direct the people in the buildings or even outside. But they come up as like dots, so you can never truly tell what enemy's coming towards them or what scrap it is. It's just like that, or it's a yellow square. I had to remind myself, yellow triangle. That's a square, apparently. Yellow triangle, and that signifies scrap. So obviously you'd be in there, and I'd be like, Zip, there's scrap on your left, or Zip, there's an enemy coming towards you. But it could be anything from something really fast to something.
Oh, Zip, you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. But the funniest parts are when you when your talkie's still on when you die, because all you hear is like, oh shit, and then that's it, and you're like, yep, well, he's dead. But there's so many hazards. I mean, you can just fall off the cliff, you can drown, you can go into a quicksand, get killed by bees, not beans. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. There's a ghost girl who can haunt a player. There's like a jester that winds up and he starts dashing it towards you. Pretty much no escape. Yeah, there's all sorts of things. But I'll play this, and you just see what I managed to get. Hopefully, it won't be too laggy. So this is one of the that you always start near the place where you have to go.
Like a sort of Borderlands view.
So basically, I'm trying to be quiet. Oh, up to speak. So I'm trying to be quiet and fast because there's a giant I can hear amongst the fog.
Oh, you can hear it, yeah.
Yeah, you can hear the footsteps now.
But you cannot see it.
No. But when the screen starts going like that, it's you're losing the sanity, so there's like trouble nearby.
Okay.
And this is obviously the mansion. And there's quite a funny moment. Well, funny moment if you know what's going on. Once those nutcrackers, they can one-shot you with a shotgun, but they only attack when they're doing their like sentry mode. Where they stop and like this like alien eye pops out. But you have to be completely motionless, otherwise they'll shoot you. So I got to this point here, just trying to wait till it gets to it, and he starts going in this mode, and I'm like, oh shit, I've got a blob behind me, which can kill me, and now I've got to deal with him, so I just quickly grab this wedding ring and get the fuck out of there. And also, this is where I get my just rewards, by getting in.
All of that for this.
Yep, as soon as I got back out, he's waiting for you, little fucker. And I've got a mod in one of my lobbies, shall I say. If you take this apparatus, the main reactor, basically the whole building just comes collapsing down.
So it's kind of like a stealth game.
In a way, yeah. You can have shovels to kill certain enemies, but not all. Some enemies are invincible.
You're not completely defenseless, but you are strongly discouraged from fighting.
Yeah, you're vulnerable enough to want to stay away.
Yeah.
So this is the part where, after every quota, you would give Jeb his food. So I didn't realize he took the first lot, but I'll give him the second lot. And if I stayed there and kept doing that, he would have got, eaten me.
We can also mention that there is a store that you can use to get items like lamp or talkie-walkie or even a teleporter.
Mm.
And
Yep.
you have to know which item are best to be able to allocate your funds effectively.
Yep, that's right. Buy talkies or buy shovels, or buy flashlights. If you don't have a flashlight in there, you're going to know about it because it's dark as fuck, especially the facility, which is this part. There's also mines, and as you can see here, there's a turret floating in midair. So I had to make a quick dash for it, otherwise I was like,
Is it one-shot kill, or do you...
you can escape it, but if it gets you about 2 or 3 times, you're dead.
Okay.
So you can survive like a second of getting hit, but after that, you're
Yeah.
dead.
Plus, if you are critical, you're slowed down,
Mm.
or makes it even harder. Oh yes, you are.
Cheeky little jump scare there. Yeah, there's so many. There's oh, yeah, there's one of death.
Not the
Did
door
someone,
thing, yeah.
someone do to you what you do to everyone else in every video game ever?
Yeah.
Just watch for the end of this.
There's someone in him
But he died, and I killed him afterwards. He's dead.
You got the last laugh.
Exactly. So I can't remember what happens, but
I'm gonna take here.
that was it. So I got suffocated, but I nearly got suffocated by a snare flea if my teammate didn't have a shovel. But yeah, that's all the footage I got. It was all a bit pickety. But yeah, the game is very, very fun. It's a perfect mix of humor and
Seems to be a game that you work better as a team to have like people. Yeah. Because I mean, like on your own, you'd be a bit of a mess.
On your own, you are very weak indeed. You are, like the worm at the end. If you're alone, there is a way to kill it on your own, but you have to go outside, and as you cannot see anything, it's almost impossible.
I can imagine.
Yes. So yes,
Or
this
jump
game
in a
is
hole.
it's definitely made to be played with friends.
Yeah. Yeah, there's all sorts of creatures you can run into. I was trying to find footage of the spider, but it didn't come up, which is annoying. And then there was a thing called a bracken, which seems to spawn most of the time I play. And I'm actually quite pissed off because the best jump scare when I played, when I got the footage, was there, and I lost it. It didn't record that part, so I'm pretty annoyed at that. I honestly nearly jumped out of my chair. It was so quite annoying, but it's fun. It's a good game, and if all of you die, you lose all the scraps, so it's very important you all stay alive.
Yeah.
At least one of you.
At least one of you, yeah. But you get a casualty charge for everyone that dies. And all the moons are completely different. It's a forest one, like a more of a rural type, not a rural what type one. A sort of, what would you call it? Zip, like a cliff, like a deserty one. I'm sort of a deserty.
Yeah, desert. I think there are 2 desert planets. But one is more arid, desolate, and the other is like one big factory.
And there's the snowy one, which you saw me get eaten by the giant. Yeah, there's all sorts, and It's the fact that it seems like a very boring premise, and I only bought it because people were hype and raging about it. I thought it was going to be just average, and then I played it. I've just pretty much been addicted to it. I've got more hours on that than I have Killing Floor, so yeah, it's very enjoyable, and especially with friends when you're playing with people you know. Just hearing the screams of your friends is enough to want to play the game again.
One thing of note is that the game is still in development, and I think that the developer is working on more on the campaign aspect of the game, because there is a narrative, but it's not completed yet.
Okay.
Yeah, if you delve into it, there's quite a mysterious story, lore. But yeah, it's very fun. I would advise anyone who's just watching or listening, listening. If you like horror, then you like this. If you just like having a laugh with your friends on any type of game, I would get this. And they're the two main reasons, really. If you like to be scared and you like to have a laugh, there's no reason not to get this, because it's, you know, the gameplay itself isn't anything to cry home about, but is that a term? Cry home about?
I mean, it's cool home, but I think it was one of that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, something to. Oh, isn't it ride home about? Nothing to ride home about. I think. Yeah. Okay,
you're using phrases that I've not really heard in a long time, so I can't remember.
I thought it was to write home.
Right home, that's the one.
Right,
Yes.
yeah, that's the one.
I got something right for once, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Dingle has become the smartest person in the room for about 10 seconds.
That's it. I can retire happily.
But yeah, gameplay's nothing to write home about.
You get there, boy.
But it's not the gameplay itself; it's the laughs you get along the way.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the first few games, or if you play with newer people, because some of the stuff they don't know, and they'll get themselves in situations where they'll just even just turning a corner and hearing someone go, "What the fuck?" and the turret just goes, his body flies off the ceiling, or the mine. You just hear a mine go off, and just before that, you always hear like go, "Oh no!" and you're like, "Yep, someone."
I yelped more than once while playing.
Well, I played with Emre, or Zipnet knows Emre. I played with a Steam friend of ours for the first time. Well, first time for him. And he tried to make... I purposely did this jump that I didn't think he would make, because I'm an arsehole. And he didn't make it. He didn't make it. And literally all you heard was, I thought I could... Sorry. But this is the type of game where you want people to die, almost. Like...
That doesn't sound like you at all.
No.
R-Techz wanted people to die? Like...
And take the victory? That doesn't sound like him.
Yeah.
No, we can trust you. You're a very trustworthy person.
I'm a sadist, what to say, sorry. But it is though, like the fun. It sounds weird, but the fun is when people die. If everyone survived every day on that game, it wouldn't be fun at all. Like, you know, there's even masked enemies where they look like your friends, and all that's different is they have a mask. So sometimes they'll catch you off guard. You'll be around the corner. If I just saw Zip in there a minute ago, I'd gone out, come back in. I'd be like, "Hey, Zip!" And suddenly you see the mask when he gets closer, and you're like, "What?" And then he just eats your face, and then you become one of them. So there's just moments. There's so many moments.
So what you're saying is you enjoy your friends dying in video games. You're painting your personality a bit now, aren't you? We already knew, but now the internet can now know how me, Gem, and SD feel.
Yeah, especially when we finally release all the footage we've got of you just shutting doors on us when we've got scrapes and flesh pounds behind us and Killing Floor 2.
To you motherfucker.
Yeah, but you guys can look after yourselves now. You're at that level.
He's having a laugh at your expense.
Look how enjoyable me and Gem look. Look, at you with disgust.
Please don't look at me.
This is a face of disdain.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a normal face.
I mean, yeah, when I'm looking at you, it is.
Hey. Anyway, no, Lethal Company is one of the most fun. I've had some of the most memorable, funny experiences on that game. Like when you've got those coil heads, which are the things that run up to you, they act like weeping angels of Doctor Who, and someone's got to keep an eye on them. And there's nothing more tensional, if that's even a word, more tense than having like 2 or 3 of them staring at one person, and this one person is trying to keep an eye on them whilst you've got a spider coming around the corner, and the other person's running for it. It can go from 0 to 100. I could show you a whole day where nothing happens. I don't see one enemy, and then other times you see everything.
Completely random.
It is. That's what makes it just yeah.
To make you come back and play it again.
Yeah. Yeah, it will. You wouldn't think it has. You think it become repetitive.
Yeah.
Because the premise is so easy and it's so simple. Sorry, but yeah, it's not. I mean, even if you go out on a stormy day, and it's because the weather changes, and if you go out and it's stormy and you're holding something metal, it would just straight up, it would just the lightning would just kill you. And when people don't know this stuff, it's just the funniest. I love hearing people's reaction when they see a monster for the first time, and they just, I don't know, the sound, the panic, and the panic, but also the curiosity is enough for me want to play again. Just like, what the fuck is that thing?
Basically, I think the tagline for this game is "Die and learn."
Die and learn. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say so. That's very on point. Yeah.
Or just watch your back when you're gaming with R-Techz.
Every game, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or even Leisure Suite Larry.
I mean, that's a single player game, and also I'm pretty
God,
sure. Pretty sure you play that game one-handed anyway, don't you?
it's a master.
Plays with his feet.
Masturbator.
Exactly.
But yeah, about it really. Anyone got any questions about it?
It does look good. It does look fun. I like games that make you want to come back to see what's going to happen next. I like games like that. Yeah, it looks like something I would give a go. I know that I've been wanting to see gameplay of it anyway, so that's why I've waited to now, because you have been going on about it. So yeah, does look good. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I believed you.
Thanks.
First time for everything. Yeah. Yeah, it does look good. Does look playable. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm more interested in it now than I was before. After seeing that and hearing you talk about it, I'll be interested in trying it out with you guys. I mean, the thing is, I'm not really a fan of like horror games. At least not the ones that actually make you feel afraid. I mean, I'm not a fan of horror in general.
Yeah, we've seen SD's face enough times. Should we immune to it now?
I'm immune to that kind of horror.
Thing is, it has the atmosphere of a horror game, but as there are other people with you, it lessens the fear. It replaces with amusement.
Yeah.
But as I said, I think it balances it out well. I think that's the main point of it.
Yeah.
So you can have moments where everyone's dead, but you might not necessarily know it. And you might be walking around on your own for ages, and then suddenly a bracken comes behind you and snaps your neck, and you're like fucking terrified. But then it balances it out, because the next day there might be a whole load of you, and this giant's running towards all of you, and you're all fucking laughing and shouting, and you know what I mean? Even trying to like sabotage someone closing the door, like I would do, and then they get gobbled up. Like,
obviously.
So many scenarios. It's just Sorry, Carol.
Yeah. For the reason that I would be only ever playing it with you guys, I'd probably give it a go.
100%.
Try it out.
See SD playing it.
He will jump on the bandwagon as soon as all the rest of us are on it. So
be a little bit late to the party.
yeah.
What do you reckon, Zip? I know you played it, so you come from a different angle.
Yeah, I'll just say that it's good that it's very moddable. There are too few games that are like this. For example, there is a mode that allows you to be more than 4. So if you have a bigger group of friends, well, you can invite them all. You can make the games even harder. I'd say unfair. Yeah, it adds replayability. So yeah, it's very good. But I'd say first play it without modes to know the game is supposed to work, to get a better experience.
Yeah.
After that, you go to modes.
I mean, all I've got to say is if all 4 of us play it, or 2 of us, or 3 of us, whatever, don't trust anything I say. You're probably better off finding out the game on your own terms, because I will put you in harm's way. That's all I'm saying. If I say you can make a jump, yeah, it's not happening.
Raise your hand if you think Ryan should be dog food for the blind dogs. Oh, Dingle is still
thinking about
it.
I know R-Techz. Gem knows R-Techz. So R-Techz, for him to even say that to us, we're not stupid, man. We know you.
You've
So
learned.
when us 4 play the game, technically it'll be me, Gem, and SD. Watch you fuck off.
Yeah.
I'll take control of one of the monsters.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Does not surprise me.
Yeah.
People have actually modded it to do that as well, believe it or not. Even the worm that comes up from underground, you can play as that.
Oh, damn. Like a versus mode. Alright.
Yeah, well, kind of, sort of. It's quite funny. I've used it a few times. A few. That's it. But you can only do it modded. You can't do it vanilla, obviously. But it would. For someone joined the.
Craig dropped out and came back in.
Yeah.
Oh, it did that earlier, didn't it?
Yeah, it did that earlier. So I don't know how good this backup recording is going to be.
Oh, right, okay. No, I thought SD joined earlier. I was like, oh, he's. Yeah. Obviously, it would have been too late because I rolled.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's it. Lethal Company. Yeah, I've said all I can say about it, really. It's a great mixture. And the proximity chat makes it. There's, 1 minute you hear your friends, next minute you're shouting their name, trying to find out where they are, and they don't respond, and everything. Your heart's just like, oh fuck! And if you can't find the way back, yeah, it makes it some very very great experiences that I'll always take with me with gaming.
I do love the idea of games with proximity chat. I would love to play some more of them.
There needs to be more, mate. I'm telling you, I can't express that enough. Like, there is not enough.
A lot, yes.
Works so well, especially in the environment like Lethal Company.
I feel like that proximity chat also would work really well in like first person shooters and that.
What more like tactical ones, like Ready or Not type?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Where I know that the player characters have radios on them, but you should have to press a specific button to put on the radio to transmit to your entire team, whereas your squad should be staying together, and so you should be able to use the proximity chat to just talk to each other.
Yeah. I know they've got it on that. Have you heard of that squad game?
Yes.
It's like, yeah, nothing on that.
I like with the rubber and I don't know. There are two teams. The squad game you're talking about.
What? You use a
Isn't
rubber?
it? No. That again. Like, isn't it this game that it's very basic graphics and you have two teams, one robber and one are the guards? Is that the game you're talking about?
I think I've seen footage of that game, but Squad is a military shooter
No,
one.
it's not like that then.
It,
I was mistaking it with another game.
I think I know which game you're talking about, but
Yeah, I
don't
think
know
I
the name
do
of
as
it.
well.
Intruder? I don't
It might
remember.
be that, something like that.
Got very that game got very like the Backrooms vibe.
Oh, I like that. Okay, all right, yeah.
I got that sort of vibe from it.
Just a lot more to do on it, not just simply one. Yeah, that bored the heck out of us, didn't it? After about 20 minutes, we're like, just want to leave.
I spent the majority of it in a locker.
But there's only like 3 monsters, wasn't there? So once you saw them, you were like, oh, here we go.
There's a face in the corner as well. If you looked at it, it came after you, and so now I'm going to get back.
Yeah. Should we end it there then? Let's do final thoughts. This is one of the longer episodes, but I feel like we always have one of these every season now. I like that.
The gaming ones, especially.
Yeah, they do. They tend to be then, don't they?
We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
We'll do last thoughts. I'll go to you last, Zip, since you are grand guest. Dingle, final thoughts.
Yeah, a lot of interesting games. A lot of, I said, the remastered one, the Veronica and all that. Looking forward to. Looking forward to seeing where this Killing Bean goes. If it is multiplayer, I'm sure we'll jump on the bandwagon. I do look forward to, if we do play that Lethal Company, but when us four get going on a game, it's always a laugh. You know what I mean? I enjoyed this episode. It has gone on quite a while. I've enjoyed it. So my final thoughts.
Give it to them, Jem.
So my final thoughts. I'm really interested in that Killer Bean game. Really interested in seeing what they do with Code Veronica. I do want to try out that Lethal Company as well. The map that was showing off for Left 4 Dead, that was, in my opinion, very good. That's my final thoughts.
Mine are Killer Bean. It looks wacky and it looks all over the place. But that game looks like it would be good fun. I don't know for how long. I reckon it is a single player game. They think they might add multiplayer down the line. But it strikes me as it's going to be more on that wavelength. I reckon Dingle should put it on Dingle Games, personally. Veronica, that would be intriguing. I'm guessing it is, so when it does, it will be. I wonder if they're going to do Revelations.
It's still quite recent, so I don't see that being remastered for some time.
Zipnet's map is absolutely terrible. Never play it. I've deleted it and uninstalled it already. But I'm down, and I've actually reported it for reusing Valve's items. So
Sexual contact.
Terminator, Dark Fate, Defiance.
Yeah, I think that looks fine for what it is. RTSs I can't get on with. And on mine, Lethal Company, I don't know how else I can recommend it. It's something else. It's an experience you won't get with any other game. And also, it's by a solo developer. So if that's not impressive, then I don't know what is. But I was only joking about Zipnet's map, of course.
No.
It's the opposite of what I said. If you play Left 4 Dead already, check it out. If you don't, then I guess you're not missing out on anything. But it's 3 chapters long, and the finale is a gas finale. So we didn't say that. So I might put it in one of my videos if you're lucky enough, Zip. So we'll lead out with our guest, and then we'll get out of it. What's your final thoughts on tonight's episode, Zip?
Well, for me, Killer Bean's game seems ambitious, and I hope the best for the developers. And that what they are trying to achieve works out for them. For the RE remake, I've not played a lot of Resident Evil game, but I know that the fans are anticipating a lot of what's new with the series, because I think that it has known somewhat of a revival those last few years. So I think it's good for the fans. For the Terminator game, for RTS, I hopefully they will be able to fix all of the issues and add more maps. I think that it would make a very lively multiplayer if they did that. As for Little Company, well, Ryan said, I've played already a lot of it with him, and he betrayed me at every corner. I loved it. But
Don't believe it.
very fun game, and it deserved the hype that it got. As for my map, well, I won't sound my own horn, so I invite people to play it by themselves. It's on the Steam Workshop, and the name is Searching for Serenity. For people who've not seen the title card, invite players to try it out and give me feedback. And all the boys here, thanks you for having me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, agreed. Appreciate you. You're one in a million, Zip. Don't let anyone tell you any different. Right, we've been the Straight Up Busters, episode 42, season 4. I forgot to say season 4, but I've said it now. And we are going to get the heck out of here. Lethal Company, Killer Bean, Terminator RTS, and the Left 4 Dead map. We've covered quite a bit, 2-hour long episodes, so have fun listening to it. SD, if you get around to it, we missed you. And we'll catch you on Killing Floor soon. We're out. Bye!